Welcome back to the Stride Project, where we strive for lives. Today we talk about our new sponsored family and our 21-day pyramid challenge. Hey guys, and welcome back to the Stride Project with Rachel and Rebecca. This is podcast number 11, and we're going to talk about the pyramid challenge results. Rachel.
Yeah.
How you doing?
Well, I'm good. I am doing great. We are not in 100-degree weather like you, so.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. Like, I feel like in the summer here, it's just like, we don't have a transitional period. I'm like, we don't even get to hang out in the 80s. It's like 60s, 70s, 100. I'm like, can we just have like a couple weeks in the 80s?
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I know. It was so hot. I had to go get some ice cream.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
It was delicious. And yes, I ate it all. I had no problem eating it all this time. Well,
Yeah.
let's talk about what's going on here with the Stride Project. Just coming from my side, my point of view, we didn't have a lot of time to prep. I think the last couple challenges, we had about a month that we were able to kind of get it out there, talk about it, share it, do some podcasts, and things like that before we started the challenge. And I think that was super helpful. And I know that, you know, it really just depends on getting, families involved and wanting to be a part of this. And that actually was difficult, this time around, trying it again. And I think a lot of our friends and neighbors and clients know that there's also a lot going on personally with our lives. The babies arriving very soon. I was going to say shortly and then soon all at the same time. So soon.
I caught that, yeah. A soon.
The very soon. And I think we had like maybe 2 weeks that we promoted and talked about it. So we did not have a very successful campaign. What did we raise? $800?
Around there, something around there. And honestly, I mean, a lot of it did come from, I would say, Oscar's peer group and friends and family, which is amazing because that shows support for him on a personal level. And I think what makes it challenging doing it this route, doing the peer-to-peer, is like, our network is only so big.
Right.
And the people that we can like for our network specifically between you and I, it's like, we are limited. We only have so many people and so many people who are open to donating or
participating,
wanting to participate or whatever it is. That's one part to why it's a struggle. Another thing is, there's so many amazing nonprofits or so many amazing organizations out there that do so much good on like more of a global scale or a local community, like your local community or your church or whatever it is that you're already invested in. So it just makes it that much more difficult for all of these smaller nonprofits trying to branch out and do their own thing. So it's a very competitive, I don't want to say market, but it's a very competitive place to be in this time because we have so much opportunity to do something like this,
Yeah. And again, like we're small. It's literally you and me. And we haven't it's been a whirlwind of a year so far. I mean, heck, we're already in July, if you can believe it. And I mean, I'm going to be busting in, 4 to 6 weeks. And having a completely new life. But I'm encouraged because, if you think about it, actually, I don't know if I told you, I went to, this is actually a few months ago. I went to a nonprofit kind of, I don't know what to call it.
No, you did, yeah.
Yeah, meeting a bunch of other nonprofits, some small, some big. And it was part of the community. We have something called the SVC or SCB Chamber of Commerce. And we're a part of that with our business, with Entity. And so I took advantage and went, and we all got to talk a little bit about our nonprofit and our, I guess more like how to make it better, and how to like grow it. And we had a panel of really successful other nonprofits that were speaking. And when I mentioned that we had raised $10,000 on our very first, campaign, everyone was really impressed. And that shows like everyone did step up. Like everyone we knew in our circle, in our sphere, like stepped up and gave, because that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And hey, that might have been the big bang for the Stride project for the year. It's like we invested our time, our energy, money, all that stuff, and it all went into, our first family. And that might be it for the year, in regards to, I guess you could say, success. But it's a good step forward, and the fact that we have Oscar here, and we didn't have a successful, campaign. I know that you and I were just kind of cramming it in, and we wanted to have a better outcome. There's just so much going on that it was hard to put our time and energy into it. And plus, like you said, we need to be able to branch out and reach out into other or I don't want to say avenues, but in other ways to get people in to be a part of, the part of what we're doing. Because I think what we have is really special, and I think, and I see big things for it. But it's going to take a lot more work, and we're going to need a lot more help, even just on the back end stuff, marketing, advertising, having people come in and step up for wanting to be a part of the Stride project in different ways. So whether it's someone that comes in and helps us on the back end with like the website, like, hey, I want to give some time to you guys to like make sure people know who the Stride project is and how to get it out there, and all that nerdy stuff. We could definitely keep working on, having a podcast bi-weekly or at least once a month, having, guests come on and talk about their cancer experience, or their, even we had a couple people come on that didn't have cancer that, ran for Team in Training or whatnot, and were fundraisers.
Or even experienced it in their own family. So, being a child or being a caretaker, caregiver.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's that. And then, when I was at the meeting with the nonprofits, I had met a woman, and she was really sweet. She gave, like at least an hour of her time to me later that week. She wanted to connect because she loved the idea. And she was giving me all these different things that we could do. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so much. It's a lot of information, and it's a lot to tackle, but there are other ways we can get the Stride project out there. Like, maybe instead of sponsoring a family next time, we actually sponsor another nonprofit and get our names, out there with that nonprofit, and help. Again, it's still going to be with the cancer, helping families or helping someone with cancer, but, opening the door to, giving our services or giving our funds that we raise, to them. And in response, like, they help us out by saying, hey, the Stride project, it's a new nonprofit. They're coming out. They helped us raise X amount. They did this fitness challenge. It was really fun. Make sure you check them out, and different things like that.
Yeah.
So
definitely another way to go about it.
Yeah. So we didn't have any signups. And you know what? This is such a great challenge too.
Yeah.
I was like,
we can always do it. We can always do it again.
We're gonna have to. At some point, I would definitely say let's do the pyramid challenge, because it is super fun. And maybe next time we do it, we'll be able to participate.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of things that I can't do right now. But soon enough.
Yeah.
soon enough.
Yeah, and it's also summertime. I mean, it is a little bit of a challenge this time of the year, I think. Just the summertime traveling and family and kids out of school and
But that's the whole point, silly.
I know it is. I'm just saying that could have been another, thing that's kind of going on because I know we've our lives have been a little crazy as well, but no excuses.
No,
But yeah,
I think it's just, like the main part is the sphere, right? It's like people can only give so
the
much.
network.
The network. But
Exactly.
Here's what, we've briefly talked about it. I'm not quite sure how to go about it, but we can talk about it anyway because this is just us figuring it out. I'd like to keep sponsoring Oscar, of course, because he was asking for like minimum 10,000 because he's in need. Like they need a lot of help. They could use our resources. They could use outside resources. Like they need as much help as they can get. And he's not like we're not able to talk to him much because he's not doing well. And I'd love to keep supporting him as much as we can. So it'd be great to keep kind of campaigning with the Stride Project, not necessarily doing like a fitness challenge or whatever, but just kind of keep campaigning for him and asking for people to, give anything that they can so we can keep, putting a little bit in his pocket to help pay down some bills or pay for groceries or whatever it is that he's going to need it for. And
yeah, I
so
agree.
I want to keep campaigning and try to keep raising some money for him during this time. And it won't be, I mean, I have a feeling he's probably our last family for the year. It's crazy to say that. But
But I think yeah, I agree. I just think on a personal level, but also, I think we kind of just continue to focus on him. And then even with the Escamilla family, because, they are, it's ongoing with them as well. And,
I know.
We can like on the website, I did put like, they're still on our website. You can still also donate and contribute to them as well.
Okay.
And just keeping them in our prayers as well because it's been an ongoing thing. They are still battling. They are still in the hospital. They are still having to run all like every day, every week.
And I'm pretty sure they have a GoFundMe too.
I think they do actually now.
I think Oscar might have one too. But any little bit that, we can get from anybody, you can go to thestrideproject.org and just donate freely, like $5, $10 that goes to us, and then we'll distribute it to them to help them just, give them a little hope and give them a little love and, put that toward their needs. I feel like I just want to give more to Oscar and his family because we didn't get to do a lot. Again, my attention has been elsewhere, but the Stride Project still exists. It's still alive and breathing, and anything that you guys donate, it's a write-off because it is a nonprofit.
Yeah. Yeah, and like I was saying at the beginning, I know there's a lot of great organizations, and if you feel led or if you feel like, helping serve these families is something that God's put on your heart, then that's amazing. And, we would love to eventually do something that is like a monthly tithe, monthly donation that you can kind of stick with us from month to month, and it could be $5, $10, $25. That just is a continual, flow into whatever family is present, or if there is a certain family you want to focus on.
Yeah.
True. It would be great to have families lined up where we could just keep putting money into, and help serve them in whatever means that
they
looks
need.
like. But yeah, that is the goal, I think, as well. Like you said, there's so many directions we can go. We're so small that it's going to take time to brainstorm and grow.
And we're not going anywhere. They say I mean, after like the first 3 years, a lot of nonprofits dwindle off and disappear, and that's not what my hope is for the Stride Project. My hope is to get more people on board to help us navigate uh, and grow and learn. So if there's anyone out there that's like, hey, I've always wanted to work with a nonprofit, I'm willing to give some time in this area or in that area, we're open to having a conversation. We're open to bringing people on board. Of course, there's no money right now, but you're doing it for a good cause, and the goal is to hopefully be able to profit a little bit from the Stride Project, so that it can be something where we can create some opportunities and some jobs. That would be really cool in the long run. And again, like our other vision is to do things live, like live events, and there's a lot of cool things we can do with the Stride Project. And this is just one way to get started, is virtual online. Plus Rachel and I aren't, living together yet. So it's been it's made it possible for us to do this together, But eventually I'm going to be out there. It'll be easier. Yeah. Then we'll probably do more local stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So anyway, these are the results.
Yes. It's a challenge. It's hard, running a nonprofit, starting one, being so small, like you said, not having the team that we would love to build.
Well, this is us also reaching out
steps. Yeah.
Reaching out and letting people know, like, we're open to having help and experts in different areas and fields to come in and help get this thing going and rolling and helping more people. And again, I think, when we do this again, I think putting it about a month out is way more helpful, just because it allows people to kind of see what you're doing. And I mean, in this day and age, everybody is so bombarded all the time with so much stuff. And so it's easy. You could be like, oh, that sounds really cool. Or, oh yeah, I want to do that. And then you forget. So, just putting it in front of people over and over and over again for, about a month, I think that's also very helpful.
Yeah, I agree. A little more focus on the at the front before we launch it, for sure.
Yeah, but we'll get back to it. In the meantime, if you're looking to work for a nonprofit, or if you're looking to still, donate,
volunteer,
anything. We're still here, and you can go to thestrideproject.org to do all of that. Even to connect, reach out to me, Rebecca, at thestrideproject.org, and see how you can be helpful and how you can serve others. That was the whole goal of all of this, is just to work together as a community and lift each other up and help each other out.
Absolutely. And I think another thing that kind of comes to my mind is there are amazing programs out there, or amazing nonprofits out there, like Team in Training, that they focus in leukemia and lymphoma, and then you have the breast cancer awareness, and you have I don't know if it's MD Anderson, but there's a place where cancer patients go to get treatments, and then they home and house families. And that's all great. Like thank God for those things. But there's a lot of families out there who don't qualify for these in these different areas.
True.
And so, it's for us, it's something so small, but for these families who don't necessarily have those options, can bring some hope, can bring, it's great to support these large, huge nonprofits. And we want that because they do so much between cancer research and all these other amazing things. But there's so many families out there who are just, they don't have anybody, and they don't qualify for some of these, other nonprofits. So it would be really cool, because we're kind of a melting pot, I think. It's like we're here to help whoever, however, whatever you need. And so I think that's something that's unique, because we're not like we may focus in cancer, but it's not on a specific cancer. It's just like we're focused on the cancer patient, and we're also focused on your family, because as we have been talking about with the Stride Project, it's not just about the patient, it's about the family and the unit and how it affects everyone. It affects your friends, it affects your family, it affects your home environment and your lifestyle and your jobs and your children. And so that's just one more thing I just want people to like realize, is it's kind of what makes us unique or different, in being so small and having such big dreams and hopes for this. But it's just, offering the families who don't have the resources.
Yeah. Or the support,
Resources, support, all that. Yeah.
I know it's crazy because there's a lot out there, but you're right. Like not everyone gets to qualify, and not everybody has time or energy or the, wherewithal to put time into that. Like you have to be persistent at some point, and sometimes people don't have the energy or even maybe the knowledge, even if it's out there. It's like, who in their right mind ever thinks, oh, I'm gonna have cancer, and let me look into that now. It's like, when you get cancer, it's shocking. You're like, how could this happen to me? And it's like, I'm sure you don't even have like a minute to think about it, and but it's in your body. It's already present. So to put more time and energy into trying to figure out all those things, it's like, I would love to be able just to offer like, hey, do you need some help? Here we are, and I don't know. I hate cancer. Yeah. I keep hearing, we had a family in our church, and I didn't know the family, but they just lost their mother to cancer, and apparently she had been battling it on and off for a few years, and she lost her life just, I think it was like last week. Mm-hmm. And she wasn't very old. I think she was like in her, I want to say like maybe early to mid 50s, kind of like mom.
Yeah, that's
young. Yeah, and I did, they were needing help with food. So that we did like a meal train at the church. And those are really nice, like meal trains, if you're like plugged into a community like a church or something. People are really generous in giving of their time with things like that. And I know that was really, really helpful for Dad when he was going through that with Mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the meal trains.
Yeah, so I made them a soup, but it's just like, it doesn't, the meal trains are great, and then any extra support, like you said, the money goes into the help that they need. And we don't always know what the family is needing, but they do. And and if they don't, at least they have the funds there, and when time comes, they're like, oh, we need to like hire someone to come in and like clean this house because I don't know, we haven't done laundry in a month. Who knows?
The goal for us as the Stride Project isn't just to help cover their finances. It's also to help them in the, how do you explain it? Like help them in their times of needs. So it's not, most of their needs are going to be financial, but they have other needs too. And so we would love to be able, like, that's why we are like, hey, what do you guys really need help with? Make them think about it. Mm-hmm. Obviously, sometimes it's just financial, but then what about everything else? Like you're saying, like what are some of the other things? Maybe they're like, oh my gosh, yeah, we haven't had time or energy to clean, and we need to hire a maid to come in and just help us. That's probably the last thing anyone's thinking of, but we really want to be able to offer those things financially. There's just added stressors that, outside of the financial, that like they're probably not even thinking of, but they're there. And so that's where we want to be able to provide more so that they can just have some ease and have a peace of mind, and some of those needs that maybe are left unmet,
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, That's one step at a time, and we may not get there for a while until we can start raising a lot of money for these families so that they can just make sure their financials are good, and then they can also take care of some essential needs that have been left unmet.
And have some sort of life.
Right, quality of life.
Some sort of normalcy.
Yeah, normalcy in their day. And quality of life. That's the other part too, is just helping enhance their quality of life.
Yep. Exactly.
So that's the goal.
All right. Well, like I said, you guys can keep donating to the Stride Project at thestrideproject.org. If you want to come on board and help us figure this out, grow it, anything. You can just email me at Rebecca@thestrideproject.org and we'll have a conversation.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wanted to go over? Is that kind of...
I think that's it. I think we've done a good job repeating ourselves probably about 5 times. So we
just want to get our point across.
Just want to be clear. But we'll keep campaigning for Oscar and praying for him, definitely. Praying for him and just I just want him to get better. I want him to get better. I want him to feel better, and I am praying for his kids, for his mom, and everyone that's a part of that. So he's in our prayers, and we'll go ahead and give him the little bit that we've made, and I hope it makes a little difference, a little helpful, pay some bills, and we'll just tell him we'll keep campaigning for him and do the best we can.
Thank you guys for listening. Make sure to stay tuned for the next podcast. You can find out more at thestrideproject.org.